In West Africa, within the Niger arc, lies Burkina Faso, the land of the upright people. One of the poorest countries in the world. In the village Paradé, there are two more than 90-year-old men. They both are the last ones who still handle the millennia-old tradition of iron making, a tradition that threatens to die out.
Alle warten, die ganzen alten Männer sind gekommen und ich bin gespannt, was passiert ist.
The villagers say they are so happy to see you here. It's for a long time they're waiting for you to come to visit their work. They are so happy and still you welcome too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
The remains of an ancient race furnace, out of service since 1950. At that time, the colonial masters had forbidden the iron making. Thus, the knowledge of it is not lost. The German forge artist Andreas Rimkus in 2013 initiated a project for a cultural preservation, where the old men now share their knowledge and skills to future generations.
Also das habe ich auch noch nicht gesehen. Ich glaube, wir gehen jetzt in den Ofen rein. Attention. Ich werde verrückt. Nein. Nein.
The importance of this was shown to us about 3 months later. The old village chief of Paradé died just 3 months after our filming.
Ja, ich kann es gar nicht glauben, hier zu sein. Also damit hätte ich wirklich nicht gerechnet. Mit allem habe ich gerechnet, aber mit so einem Ofen, der also unter die Erde gebaut wurde und die Arbeit, die tatsächlich fertig geworden ist nach einem Jahr, das ist wirklich eine große Freude. Und dass die letzten alten Männer hier in Paradé den Jungen gezeigt haben, wie dieser Ofen gebaut wird. Und jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, wenn sie sozusagen das Eisen sammeln und die Kohle zusammenkriegen, dass dann sozusagen irgendwann hier der Ofen angezündet wird.
An iron bar from this period rottens leaning on a tree for more than 50 years. Why this for the villagers valuable piece of metal was kept over the years? It seems like it was just waiting for that in Paradé again forgeable iron will be produced. As Andreas Rimkus returned to Paradé a year later, he was astonished. The residents actually had created a new furnace, and, moreover, a very special one. In this underground melting oven, the heat is not produced as usual by bellows, but by a chimney effect by air jets. The spongy iron lumps known as luppe are produced during the reduction of the ore in the smelting furnace. First, the ore which is found near the village of Paradé is crushed and mixed with charcoal. Thus, the furnace is charged. For the first lighting and generating the heat of the oven, straw is used. Clay is mixed in order to close the oven and immure the air nozzles. If a sufficient amount of amber is produced, the first layer of charcoal will be filled in. According to an ancient incantation, 3 handfuls of iron ore and a certain amount of coal are mixed and placed in the oven. Then the furnace is closed. For a whole day it will take until the first batch of iron can be removed. In the meantime, let's celebrate! The next day the buri, as the smelting furnace is called in the language of the villagers, will be opened. 2 men from the village have watched the embers overnight. The finished luppe is removed from the furnace and cooled with sand. In a thousands of year old tradition, forgeable iron has arisen overnight. The iron extracted in Paradé will be transported to the village of Uri. Here exists a very special hammer mill. Here the iron is forged by an equally ancient tradition as previously one. The handball court large complex houses 20 forging places with each 4 men to work. To prepare the luppe for forging, a lump is formed from a clay and cotton blend. This is set for 2 days in the sun to dry. Thereafter, thus entrapped iron is heated in the forge to welding temperature. This prevents the luppe, while forging does not come in contact with oxygen in the air, for this would cause decomposition. That this is done that way knew only the chief of the village, born in 1928. Now the men have to fan the forge with maximum power. They take turns from the bellows. It's not possible to stand the pace more than 10 minutes. The iron is heated and forged with skillful blows of the hammer to the desired. The time when the anvil and hammer were made of stone is in Uri still alive. The result, according to the idea of Andreas Rimkus, is the hammer with two heads. At the end of the handle, the hammer has two carved human heads, the one black, the other white. In making these hammers, the traditional combination of forging and carving in the region is reflected, and it stands as a multi-layered symbol for the connection of Paradé and Uri, for the dissemination of traditions from head to head, for the connection of Africa and Europe, and, last not least, for the knowledge and skills on whose shoulders our prosperity has been built. The resources in Burkina Faso are scarce. Trees there's little, and so is a comprehensive return to this type of iron extraction and forging not a sustainable way, but it is important to keep this age-old knowledge and preserve it for future generations. For the inhabitants of the villages, quite another resource is available in unlimited quantities: the sun. An idea to use this, for example, is a solar cooker that Andreas Rimkus brought together with his family to the villagers in Uri as a gift from Germany. Such a solar cooker can be easily built by the villagers themselves. It is not only useful, but perhaps even inspiration for more ideas, more projects, hoping that future generations will use the knowledge of the ancients for their future and be proud of it. This would also enrich us.